Now, Abdul Muttalib, before he died, he called his children and he gave instruction to his son, Abu Talib. He said, if I die, look after Muhammad. He chosen Abu Talib for two reasons. One, Abu Talib, he's a real brother to Abdullah. So him and Abdullah from the same father, the same mother. The others from different mothers. Secondly, that Abu Talib, he was the most generous among his brothers. Though he's not the most wealthy, but he was the most generous. And generosity and wealth are not related. You find somebody very, very rich, very wealthy, but you hardly take 1 cent out. While you meet somebody who got only $5 in his pocket, if you ask him, he can just give you all what he got. So Abu Talib was just very generous. So now Rasulullah sallallahu, and I want you to live the moment with Al-Habib al-Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He's moving from house to house. Now he left his mother's house to his grandfather's house, now to his uncle's house. He was feeling quiet, feeling lonely. Though his uncle was giving him all kind of love, exactly like his other children, even sometime more. But Al-Habib al-Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was always quiet. When they put food, all the children rush, and he kept quiet in a corner, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Until his uncle says, my son, why don't you go and eat? So Rasulullah, he grown up in his uncle's house. Now Al-Habib Mustafa is 12 years old, and his uncle Abu Talib, he was going for a business trip in Al-Sham. So he thought, I shouldn't leave my son, my nephew, behind. I will take him. That was the first trip Rasulullah sallallahu make it to Al-Sham. So they carried on the caravan. All the people bought their goods, what they are going to take, etc. And they carried on in Al-Sham. When they are close to Al-Sham, in a place called Busra, there was, we call it Sawma'a, a place like a church sort of. And the Rahib, like a priest, who was sitting in his place, and he's looking from the window. Far, he found this caravan, something unusual happening here. It was summertime. The sky was just clear. There's not single cloud. It was only one big cloud covering this caravan. Wherever they go, the cloud covering them. They sit in the shade. The cloud disappear. They start walking, the cloud start to appear again. So this Bahira, he went outside his door and wait for them to pass by his place. Said, please, you people, you are invited for a meal in my place. And somebody said, Bahira, what's wrong? We pass on and off every day in that place. You never invited us even for a sip of water. Why today? He said, no, please come in. So they all walked in and they left Al-Habib al-Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wa sallam outside. So he looked in their face, because it is written in their books, the criteria and the character of the coming prophet in details. So they know. One of the signs that يُظَلِّلْهُ الْغَمَامِ, he found the cloud, wherever he go, there is a certain cloud appointed to cover Al-Habib al-Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So he said, look, he can't see what is he looking for. He said, are you missing somebody? He said, yes, there's a young boy outside. He said, please let him in. Then the moment he saw Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he recognized him. Then he wanted to make a test. He told Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, وَاللَّاتِ وَالْعُزَّةِ, in the name of Al-Lati wal-Uzza. Al-Lati wal-Uzza, these two big idols, they are workshopping, you know. It's just very big idols. He said, وَاللَّاتِ وَالْعُزَّةِ, I want to ask you some questions, and you give me the Rasulullah. He interrupted him and said, please, I hate nothing in my life, 12 years old. I hate nothing in my life more than this Al-Lati wal-Uzza. Don't swear by Al-Lati wal-Uzza. He told him, what should I say? Say Wallahi, in the name of Allah. Then the man started to get more and more convinced that he is now talking to the coming prophet. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He kept asking Rasulullah questions, and then he's found a birthmark on the back of the shoulder of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Khatam al-Nubuwwah. Then he realized that this is the Prophet. Called his uncle, told Abu Talib, Abu Talib, who is this boy to you? He said, he's my son. You know, in our culture, like African culture, when, my nephew, I call him my son. Your cousin, you say my brother, etc. So I said, he's my son. He said, no, this boy, he should be orphaned by now. His father should be passed out. He said, yes, his father passed away. And I'm his uncle. He's my nephew. He said, look, he's going to be a great man. He's going to be somebody. Please look after him. So Abu Talib, he didn't take it serious. He thought it's just sort of compliment, And he took Rasulullah sallallahu and they came back to Makkah al-Mukarramah. Now Rasulullah sallallahu in his teen age, he worked as a shepherd. Shepherd and prophethood is something closely related. Most, if not all the prophets, they worked as a shepherd at one stage in their life. Because when you go out with your small little animals, sheep, goat, you go and sit in the bush. You got time to think, to relax, to sort of meditation. Think of what is going on around you. Then Rasulullah he grown up and he started to gain a lot of love and respect from the community, though he was young. And they called him as-Sadiq al-Amin, the honest, trustful person.